Welcome to the NCIA's all-new Cannabis Minority Report. I am your host, Khadijah Adams. You know, the Minority Report is meant to really update the cannabis industry on minority-owned companies, social equity applicants, those who have been funded, those who've not been funded, and to really talk to, the larger companies in the space. Some are minority-owned and some are not. But we want to find out if they have a social equity program in their company. And I think that's going to be really important moving forward for the growth of the industry and also for the growth and development of our social equity applicants out there. Again, my name is Khadijah Adams, and my background is, currently I am the chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, which is meant to ensure equitable opportunities, consideration, and treatment for all current and prospective members of the NCIA. Diversity, equity, and inclusion across our multiple social entities or identities benefits the entire cannabis industry. When we work and learn with people who are different from us, we are more likely to solve problems creatively, enhance our creative or critical thinking skills, as well as develop our strengths as our members and as professionals come on board with us. We approach our work with courage at the DEI committee and also with optimism, knowing it requires a sustained commitment. The DEI committee was established along with subcommittees to help implement programs and initiatives. These subcommittees are an integral part of our commitment to building a diverse and inclusive culture that is equitable for all in the cannabis industry. The mission of the DEI committee is to educate, advocate, engage, and empower the community of cannabis and our members by cultivating partnerships with our nonprofit organizations or other nonprofit organizations with similar goals, and provide resources that creates and sustains an environment that is inclusive, that is equitable, and that is diverse. We are committed to building a culture that respects our members and celebrates their contributions as we work together to strengthen our community. And so this show is actually going to highlight minority owners in the cannabis space. It's going to highlight minority entrepreneurs in the cannabis space. We're going to find out and hear from them about their journey into the cannabis industry, what they're currently doing. And guess what we're going to find out? What do they currently need? Okay, do they need funding? Do they need staffing? What do they currently need? What resources can the NCIA actually bring to them and have available for them? And then how can our sponsors, right, who participate in the Cannabis Minority Report, how can our sponsors benefit? And so we're going to interview our sponsors as well. So I'm excited about that. One of the other things that I really wanted to do was bring in other people in the industry to sit down and serve with me as my co-host, and not just hear from me, but also hear from them from a different perspective. So super excited about what we have going on. I'm going to bring on in just a few seconds my very first co-host, also my friend and my mentee, by the way. Her name is Alexis of OliveYou Media.
Today is a great day to invest in the future of the cannabis industry. You can do this by supporting the work that's being done by the National Cannabis Industry Association staff, committees, and subcommittees. Visit us at thecannabisindustry.org to learn more about the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Program sponsorship opportunities, including supporting my new show. Join other industry leaders who have stepped up to become DEI program sponsors. Thanks in advance for your support.
where we are back. And, another thing that we're going to actually bring to you guys is the latest news in the cannabis industry and also the latest events, the going on, what's happening in the industry, okay? But here joining me right now is my very first co-host, Miss Alexis Olive of OliveYou Media. Hi, Alexis. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing so good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just really excited. Tell the audience a little bit about OliveYou Media. I love that catch. OliveYou Media. OliveYou Media. So tell us about that.
Well, I've just found, a niche in, storytelling and helping specifically strong entrepreneurs, CEOs like yourself, really tell their story and get their message out.
Tell us what you're doing with social equity applicants in the cannabis space and how you're actually helping them with, providing them with resources that you have available.
I think what I'm learning is that, well, first of all, every business is completely different. However, they do go through, especially minority-owned businesses, do go through a lot of the same struggles. One major one being capital raising. Also just, again, helping get their message out effectively to the right audience as well. But I think the main thing is they just need to be heard and someone to actually listen with intent to help them find a solution. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what they really need. We need the resources. We need to communicate, right? And honest, real communication. Like you said, no sugarcoating. We don't need that. Yeah. We need just the real facts.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think, there's so many things and so many, sugarcoating going on right now. And I think the social equity applicants, what they need right now is some direction, right? And so you're here to help them get their message out, get their word out, whether they are raising capital or whether they are looking for staff or whether they're just looking for certain resources to help them grow their business. So I commend you for that because, so many people come into the industry and they just want to make money. And mind you, I'm guilty of that because when I first got started, that's what my intent was until I began to learn really what cannabis was about and the fact that it was medicine. And so I'm excited that I'm going to have you on as my co-host and what we're actually going to bring, to the audience because everybody want to know the latest news. And so when you're raising capital, don't you want to know the name of some of these larger companies out there who have raised capital and who have implemented social equity programs? And so I'm looking forward to matching those social equity applicants to some of those larger companies by interviewing those companies and interviewing those applicants in hopes that, guess what? They may see them right here on our show.
Exactly. And, with cannabis regulations and laws just changing really every single day, it's very important to keep on top of that, especially as a minority-owned businesses. You already have to have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. And so if you fail to keep up with some of these guidelines, that could cost you all of your energy and time and investment that you've already put into.
And hard work.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100% because things are changing so much. But what I've found out is that there's so many social equity programs that are out there, but people don't hear about them. And there's not a lot of people talking about them. I heard about Maryland having one, so we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff on here. We're just really excited, you guys, of what we're going to bring to the show. And we're looking forward to having even you guys have your own comments and you share exactly what it is that you want to hear on this show. And if you have someone that you think should be featured on our show, we're going to feature one guest from the audience on our show. So you guys have to write in.
And while you're at it, don't forget to click subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you go follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, so you can keep in touch with what's going on because we're going to have some big, exciting things going on. You can actually even just go to the show notes and get all the links right there.
Stay tuned. Join us every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on the NCIA's Cannabis Minority Report. My name is Khadijah Adams.
This is Alexis Olive.
Hey, join us every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.